Welcome back to Las Vegas. It's Alex Belfield here at Celebrity Radio at the Tropicana, where I'm staying tonight, actually, in a nice suite, so that's nice. We're here at Mamma Mia, which is one of the world's biggest, most popular and brilliant musicals. Jordan, how are you?
I'm doing well.
We'll get to you in a moment. Most importantly, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Nice to see you. Listen, this is a tremendous show, and you got the gig. Firstly, congratulations. There's a lot of competition.
Thanks. Thank you so much. More for her than me.
Why more for her?
It's a little bit easier for the guys.
Well, I do have to do a little bit more singing than you, but I guess in our industry there tend to be more women than men. But I think don't give yourself more credit than that. You still worked hard.
I mean, you've got the hardest gig in the show because you have to come out stone cold and open this show and walk out and nail it. There's a lot of pressure just in producing this new show here in Las Vegas, because of course it's the show that's been around the world, but you're opening here. How did it feel that first night when you had an audience and you had to walk out and just pray that everything worked?
Actually, I wasn't even really praying. It was more just, it was the first time that we got to feel the energy of the people there. And the first night that we had an audience, the curtain went up and everyone started clapping. And so I was like, all right, we already won them. It's fine. I just smile and sing now, and it's going to be good from there on. So it was fun.
It's interesting, this show, Jordan, because let's face it, there isn't anybody in the crowd who hasn't heard these tunes. Your job is to do them as well as they were done originally, which isn't easy.
That's very true. And it actually makes it a lot easier. My parents were in the front row for opening night. And so I actually heard my dad singing some of the songs. And so at one point in the curtain call, I kind of made eye contact with him, for positivity and also to tell him to shut up.
Yeah.
But no, it's great. I love it. I mean, when the entire crowd is humming along, you got them from the jump.
This is a story where boy meets girl, falls in love, and then we all go home happy with Dancing Queen. That's it summed up.
So we think. No, there are some twists and turns. There's a little more to it than that. But great music, great story, good performances.
Really? He's pointing at you there.
He's giving me all the credit in this because you just want me to do more talking. It's a girl who falls in love and wants to get married, but feels like there's something missing because she doesn't know who her father is, and takes a risk and invites the people who could potentially be him, and doesn't really think through what would happen after that, and then the rest of the show happens.
I always think there's two shows with Mamma Mia. You've got the love story, which is you guys, and then you've got the Dynamos who come on and sort of steal the show. In a way, they're not very fair to you because they come on in these spandex and then everybody's cheering.
Well, I have the advantage. They just throw me in a Speedo for most of my scenes, so I get to take my shirt off. And in Vegas, that plays very well.
The ladies like it when Jordan is down in his skivvies.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I'm a deeply unattractive man, and I've never had female attention. I'm ginger for a start. I mean, you must be repulsed being this close to such an ugly person.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, no, I know the truth. And here you are, Mr. Delicious, thinking you're everything. I mean, do you have the personality to go with it, or is it just the muscles?
I'd like to think there's a little bit more behind that than the muscles, but
there's the smile too. There's that.
Thanks. Great. Muscles and smile. That's apparently all I need with Kimber. No, but I'm a nice Southern boy. My parents raised me right. Yeah, I got a little bit going on.
I think so. And that's the thing about this show. There has to be a chemistry between you two. How quickly did that happen? Because if you hate each other, this ain't going to work, is it?
Yeah, actually,
I'm hoping it comes later.
Jordan and I actually were really lucky. We met in the hallway outside our final callback, and we kind of figured out right away that we were going to be going in the room together. So we had the chance to kind of run through a scene, and we pretty quickly had a rapport, and we're told later on by the team that they saw that in the room, and that's part of what landed us the gig. So we got that pretty quickly.
I'm just wondering, and I don't want to get creepy, but I mean, how intimate, how friendly, how much fun are we having as theatrical people?
Oh, it's pretty fun. It is pretty fun. No, I actually told her I knew Kimber was going to be fun to act with, because before we went for the audition, I said, there's a kiss in this audition, in this scene. Is that okay? And she said, whatever you want. And I did the same thing.
You said whatever you want in Vegas?
I wanted to book the job.
Is that rhyming slang, book the job? What are we talking about here?
We'll tell you after the interview.
I never booked the job in my entire career. So you get the gig, and then you have to realize that you've got to move from New York to Las Vegas, which couldn't be further apart in terms of the US. I mean, short of going to the West End, that's a pretty big move. How did you feel? Firstly, elated you got the gig, and then the reality that you've got a new life for at least a year.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't think that part hit me until this morning. I was so focused on building the show and getting getting to know everybody and just making sure that we built something that we were proud of, that I kind of left all the other details to be figured out later. So I've been staying with a friend. So I don't know how to answer your question because I still don't know what it's going to be like for the next year.
We should say when we're taping this, I mean, you've only been open about a week. This is very new.
Right.
Well, it's Friday.
You know, I was telling Kimber, I actually went to graduate school at UNLV here in Las Vegas. So a year ago, packed up all my stuff. I sold my car. I flew to New York. First show I book, right back in Las Vegas. But I love this town. So, I mean, it was good for me. But, you know, I kind of left my roommate in New York high and dry.
Is this the dream? I mean, for you as an actor, Jordan, I mean, you're coming here, you're starring in probably the biggest musical on the Strip, certainly the most well-known, and they chose you. Do you wonder why? Do you just get on with it?
I wonder why every single night. No, I mean, it's such a huge blessing. And to be in a show like this where a lot of my friends back home don't know a lot about theater, but everyone knows Mamma Mia, you know? So there's something to be said about that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to be in the vagina monologues, would you, for example?
I don't think I'd be appropriate. I'd bring an interesting side of thing. Yeah.
I like that show, though. It's got a big opening, hasn't it? So here we are at the Tropicana, which is sort of having a renaissance, really. It's now the new Tropicana, and it's very hard, isn't it, in Las Vegas, because as soon as they don't like something or it becomes old, they just blow it up and start again. This hotel's taken a different approach, which is keep the legendary name with new owners, redo the rooms, bring in a top show. You've got Murray in the afternoon, you've got you've got the Laugh Factory. It's a place to be and a place that people love. Old Vegas is dying, if not dead, but this is somewhere that's trying to keep the old people happy and then bring in a new crowd.
Absolutely. I mean, there's so much history in this building, too. I mean, Sammy Davis Jr. opened this place. I mean, they had the Follies girls here for 40 years. It's nice to be doing something in somewhere with a lot of history like that.
Yeah. And it's nice to be a part of something that has a tradition to it. I mean, it's like, I'm glad they didn't blow it up, first of all, but then to be somewhere where it doesn't have to be glitzy and shiny, it can still have that, like, I don't know, old world charm, but then with all the money that they pulled into it, everything's beautiful. And they got us now, so...
Indeed they have, and let's face it, there isn't a show camper with more sparkle than Mamma Mia. I mean, it's pretty out there by the end, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the costumes alone. But this show fits so perfectly for the Tropicana. Just the look of it, the feel of it, the audience that comes in. I mean, it just works.
When you stand on stage and that curtain goes up and you sing I Have a Dream right at the beginning, do you think about the majesty of this music? I mean, for us in England, it couldn't be bigger. Everybody loves ABBA. And I dare say they're almost more popular today than they were in the 70s and 80s. What pressure is there on you to do this music justice?
You know, I really felt the pressure when we were first learning the music because we really, before we even learned anything, we would listen to the original ABBA track so that we would know like what it sounded like in its originality. But when it goes up, I actually, sorry, Benny and Bjorn, but I don't think about the music. We learned it, and I learned how to honor it. And when that curtain goes up, I'm just thinking about the story at that point. So.
And of course, you come out and you walk on this thing, and the audience have to fall in love with you immediately. We fall in love with him, hopefully, by the end, if he falls in love with you. But you're the real heart of this story. It's a mother-daughter story more than a girl finding a boy, really, isn't it? It's got great heart and spirit, this story.
Yeah, definitely. And it's that time in your 20s when you think you know what you want, you think that you've figured it all out and you have made this decision, and the people around you who know you love you and have had more life experience are telling you the things you need to hear, but you don't hear them until you kind of go out and try it on your own. And I still remember going through that myself, so it's kind of fun to relive that every night. And I'm awkward, so that hopefully makes me a little charming, and so maybe the falling in love with me part happens quickly, but we'll see.
I don't find her awkward at all. I mean, there was an awkward moment when I walked into a dressing room and there she was in a dressing gown about to go in the shower. That was kind of awkward the first time we met.
That probably makes the interview a little easier, though. You know.
What a thrill for me, though. This is Vegas. I mean, who knew? And now there you are. You look so delicious. Life's funny, isn't it, like that? You never know.
As red as my dress right now.
No, I'm in room 1802 if you want to see me going in the shower later. And for you, I mean, you're the part that the ladies fall in love with, and this is a very female-friendly show. You have to be delicious. I notice there's many buffets around this town. You are aware that you've got to stop eating, because if you become clinically obese, you're going to get sacked.
I'll just start running to work. You know, I'll run to the buffet, and then I'll run here. You sweat it off when you're walking through the parking lot. You know what I mean? You're just going to walk to your hotel room, and you have a six-pack, so.
It's interesting. I was just downstairs. The music where this show comes from is actually in a back room, because they didn't want to screw with the showroom itself. And the guy guy, the drummer, who basically conducts this show, doesn't have any air conditioning because they don't want to ruin it. He must be 400 degrees by the end of this show.
I hope he has water back there. I didn't know he didn't have AC in there.
There's no AC.
They've got a close camera on his face throughout the whole show so we can watch it, and it's kind of like a color change through the end. He's kind of a bit of a chameleon. He's purple by the end. Well, that's how we know we did well. The redder he is, the more intense it was.
Now, how many shows do you do a week here at the Tropicana?
We do 7 shows a week, so we do 2 on Saturdays and we're dark on Fridays.
So that's not bad, because on Broadway you're doing 8 shows, in the West End there's 8. This is a party town and a party show. Drinking is allowed here at the Tropicana, so does it give an extra sort of frisson on those late shows?
Oh yeah, well we have drinking on the stage. We don't really. No, of course not. Just kidding.
What is this cocktail you've got here, by the way?
Oh my God.
Can I just say, it looks like you brought a sample to the interview. I don't want to be rude.
This is Pedialyte, because I'm having a hard time staying hydrated, and this has electrolytes in it, so I thought...
Whoa, back up. Pedialyte?
It's actually Pedialyte, yeah, like the stuff that you give to kids when they're vomiting.
Oh, I'm so embarrassed for her. Let's talk to you, Jordan. This isn't going so well, is it? Well, what is that? So this is something for someone who can't get through a performance. Is that what you're telling me?
I won't throw her under the bus. Pedialyte's delicious, but back to the original.
Like Sambuca, is it? What is it?
I'll give it a try right here.
It's like, it just has vitamins.
It's terrible. It just tastes like really bad apple juice.
Wow. Are you okay? Do you need to lie down?
I'm fine, yes, I'm good.
This couldn't be more awkward now. So I've seen her in a dressing.
Awkward. I told you. See, now are you convinced?
But you have beautiful eyes. There you go. I'm going to say it. And you have to fall in love with those every night. This is where we were going before we talked about your sample.
Right.
Being delicious in this show, I suppose by the end of it, if you stand by the stage door, there are going to be opportunities for a guy who looks like you, not like me.
Oh, well, my target audience mostly so far has been 65-year-old women. They've been the most vocal.
Well, they're always the most grateful. Take them up on it.
I'll talk to you in a few weeks.
Never say no, that's my theory. Jordan, we didn't ask you about settling in here to Las Vegas. Is it as much fun as you thought it would be? How are you avoiding the clubs, the buffets, and all that nonsense? Because this town can kill you. You've got to be disciplined.
Oh, I learned that lesson the hard way my first year of grad school out here. But they've been keeping us busy pretty much. We just opened, so we've had rehearsals all day. So we haven't really had any time. But, you just got to pace yourself. A good club every once in a while.
Thursday nights on the Strip.
Yeah, that's right.
Because we don't have shows on Friday, so we'll go on Thursday.
I got to be honest with you. I've been in a couple. They're so loud, and I'm so old now. It's just depressing. I'm like, Mr. DJ, could you turn it down a bit? Do you know what I mean?
You've got the accent, though. That's all you need. You just walk up to the bar and say hi to someone, and it's over.
Just a little authority. Is that what you're saying? A British accent, you get anything. Turn it down, they turn it down.
Oh, yeah. Accents will get you very far in the States. Very far.
Is this any more raunchy, this show? Because, I know there is a point where you go on a boat and all the ladies start cheering. Do we get like a Chippendale nudity for this to give it a bit of a Vegas twist?
I wish we could have added a little bow tie and cuffs, Chippendale style. But no, there's nothing.
Different from the 9 o'clock show.
Yeah,
it's great seeing you. Good luck with your sample, and I feel very bad. Can we start this again? I'll leave the theatre and come back in, and we'll try again, because I think it could go better.
Do I have to get back in my robe? Is that how this is going?
If you would, 1802. It's not a joke either. Hey, listen, Jordan, congratulations on being you. If I could be you for one day, to just have ladies just not vomit when they see me would be a thrill.
Stop, please. If I could trade and be a suave British person, I would do it as well.
Let's make $1,000 bet on that. I bet you don't take it.
All right, I'll take that bet.
Jordan, congratulations on this show. Mamma Mia is as big as it gets, and you're the stars of it. Kimber, lovely to see you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you for putting your clothes on, and we look forward to seeing you taking them off later here at the Tropicana. Mamma Mia is the show. It plays 7 times a week, 8 times a week, 10 times a week, depending on the week you come, and you're going to have a great night. And the music, I'm told, is as good a PA system as they've got anywhere in the world, because some of the shows, certainly on Broadway West End, have downsized. This is upscaled.
That's right.
Good luck with everything tonight. Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you.